Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Wine on Saturday, wine on Sunday. But Coach told me I can never miss a Monday.
Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you on Monday Night Live. And I want to congratulate everyone that's checking us out. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's watching us live on YouTube and Facebook. Please get involved in tonight's show. You can leave myself or Coach Mike a relevant real estate question in the comments section, and we may very well be able to get your question answered on today's show. I want to take a little time now to introduce my co-host. He is not only the co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, but he's also one of the most successful real estate brokers, educators, and mentors anywhere in the United States of America. We're lucky to have him sitting in on our show every Monday night. And I'd like to introduce to the audience, CEO, Coach Mike, Mr. Michael G. Davis. How you doing, sir?
Man, what is happening? So happy to be here on another Monday night. Just to talk a little shop with everybody, do a little bit of coaching, man. I'm happy to be here, bro.
Hey, man, thank you so much for taking some time out your schedule, man. For those who check us out regularly on Monday Night Live, they understand that the best thing about this show is that it comes right after those busy and productive real estate weekends. So we have an opportunity to get the questions from people who had open houses, who had buyer tours, and all of the like. So thank you so much, Coach Mike. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time. And for those in our audience, what's been going on in the world of CEO Coach Mike and the team over at Brooks & Davis?
Nah, man, Rick, thanks for asking, brother. You know, we're fresh off the heels of our season 2 town hall meeting. It was so amazing, man. We tried a new format, different format, and just been getting rave reviews from those that participated. It was all about energy. It was all about getting people recommitted and remotivated to close the year out strong. So people can begin to realize the goals and the dreams that they're looking to achieve. And then, man, Rick, I was fresh on a plane back to Los Angeles, spending some family time, and now back ready to ramp things up to get ready for our pre-home buyer session and real estate summit coming down the pipeline. So it's exciting times. I was able to review. I was able to present our month-end numbers in July, and I mean, everything's just clicking like clockwork, brother. So we're just really in a good spot as a brokerage firm. Super excited.
You mentioned a little bit about the Brooks & Davis Town Hall meeting. For those in our audience that didn't have opportunity to tap in, could you just fill them in a little bit about what is a town hall meeting and what goes into a Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm town hall meeting, and why is that so important for you to make sure that you present that information to the team?
No, absolutely, man. And to be honest with you, looking at leadership, I really I really saw it as a state of the union. Like, we've been doing this for some years now. And I felt like as the CEO of the company that I should take a moment to really give like a state of the union to what all is going on at Brooks & Davis. This go round, so previously it was more of me just talking and me presenting. But this go around, I wanted to try something different. Like, I wanted to have more engagement, more participation. I started seeing the numbers dwindle as far as people participating. So this year we made it more interactive. So it wasn't just me talking. It was more about getting my leadership team involved. They were facilitating some of the sessions. We were able to capture a lot of feedback with live polls, breakout sessions. Rick, I was able to obviously present what the things that Brooks & Davis has to re-encourage our agents to participate in those that value those benefits. We also did a recommitment to our major players. The whole group, the whole room stood up and recommitted. They did a verbal recommitment and a written recommitment. And again, that was another opportunity for me to gain some great feedback that I could utilize when coaching and developing the agents. And time of networking, time of breaking bread together. So I mean, it was a well spent 2 hours of us coming together as a complete organization and really laying out to everybody what our mission, our vision, our values, as well as the benefits that we provide as a brokerage firm for our agents to take advantage of and help them close the year out strong, inspire them, get them excited about closing the year out strong and going into the new year. So it was really a good time.
I thank you so much for sharing. I wanted to make sure I gave you the opportunity to talk about that because it's just another example of how you as a real estate leader have been intentionally accessible. Mm-hmm. And this is just another example of that. And it just shows what makes Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm stand out, not only as a real estate brokerage, but also a collective of like-minded entrepreneurs and business owners. So I want to urge you to continue to push the envelope from that standpoint. The members of the organization definitely appreciate it. And for those members that's checking us out who may not be a member at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, it gives them opportunity to take some inventory as far as their organization. If they see some things that they may want to reach out to you and ask questions about, because you also always have had a door that's open as far as talking to people, mentoring, and taking on new affiliates. So that's outstanding.
Absolutely, Rick. Some of our values one of our values is to be a trendsetter in this industry. So we're always going to continue to push the envelope to differentiate ourselves from what everybody else is doing, wanting to be the most impactful, the most efficient. Coaching is key. That's one of our values. Mentoring is foundational. That's a value. So these are things that we hang our hat on. So we don't just say it. Everything that we do is built around what we say our values are and what we say our mission is. So
absolutely, man. Thank you so much, man. As always, we always have really insightful questions from our audience teed up for you, Coach Mike. But I really thought it was important to share with our audience a little bit about some things that they may have missed if they haven't been subscribed and dialed in and tapped into BND TV. So appreciate you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
But, we're coming off a heavy and really busy real estate weekend. We're right there in that peak buying season. So if you're ready, Coach Mike, I'm very interested to hear how you respond to our first question from the audience.
Absolutely, man. Let's jump into it.
Let's see what we got for question number 1 for Coach Mike. Coach Mike, how do you recommend overcoming self-doubt or fear of failure?
How do you recommend overcoming self-doubt or fear of failure? That's an excellent question, man. And that, and you know this, Rick, that's a big deal in what we do as salespeople, right? I'm not ashamed to say that there are moments in my real estate career that I felt like the reason that I wasn't realizing the level of success that I knew I was capable of, that I got to that point, man, where I felt like it was me, right? And I started to doubt. And it wasn't necessarily at that moment, Rick, it wasn't about fear of failure, because I had already conditioned myself to understand that you never truly fail until you stop doing it, until you stop pursuing it, until you stop going for it. So I had subscribed to that. So that was never really the issue for me. But what was an issue for me was the doubt, the self-doubt. Like maybe this business isn't cut out I'm not cut out for it. This is what I found though, Rick. It really didn't have anything to do with that. What it had to do with was there were people that knew things that I didn't know, right? There was information that was out in the marketplace that I just wasn't privy to that information. And Rick, when I accepted that, for me, self-doubt disappeared, right? Because at that moment, when you have self-doubt, then one of the most powerful things that you lose is hope, right? Hope for things to be better and get better. Well, once you flip the script and you say, hey, you know what? It's just something out there that I don't know. Well, now hope comes back into the picture. So now it's like the solution is I just got to go find out what it is that I don't know. What is that information that I need to go capture that others know that I don't know? Like there has to be something. And once that happened, then it sent me on a journey of discovery, Rick. And ever since I've been on that journey of discovery, when I said, look, man, we as a brokerage firm, we've been out here a lot longer than other independently Black owned brokerages, independently owned minority brokerages. We've been out here a lot longer, but others have seen a lot greater success. Once I took that and I said, it's got to be, it ain't me, right? It's got to be something that I don't know. Ever since I've been on that journey of discovery, Rick, I've been finding the answers to the questions. I've been finding the solutions that I so was looking for. It was 100% the case, Rick, that it was just a matter of me not knowing things that other people knew. They weren't better. They weren't smarter. It wasn't because I was Black and they was white. It's not because I'm a man or, they're a woman. All of these things I used to tell myself was the rationale. It's not because I'm in Houston or the parents that I had or the pedigree I was born. It's none of that, right? And as I say it to myself, Rick, I say it to others. It's not any of that. It's solely based off of there are things that people know. There's knowledge. There's knowledge that people have access to that you don't yet have access to it. But once you realize that and you begin seeking it, then it will show up. And as you begin to get the answers to those questions that you have as it relates to your business and why things aren't connected and why things aren't working, then you'll start seeing that trajectory. You'll begin to see things move in the direction that you know you're capable of. And at that moment, Rick, that self-doubt is going to disappear 100%.
It takes me back to some of the trainings that I've seen you facilitate and that I've seen other people talk about when they talk about self-doubt or fear of failure, because it's a pretty common thought, not just for new agents, but even some experienced agents. And one of the things, to your point, that I always like to urge new agents is to find quality and experienced mentorship, because they can provide you with those tools that you speak of, the knowledge, to expose you to processes, improving processes. And I know for someone with your background, Coach Mike, you talk about that's one of the true benefits that you enjoy over at Brooks and Davis is that you set up a foundation and an infrastructure for mentorship, and at the same time, proven processes that if you follow these steps, ensure success.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
With those tools, I think that's how you eliminate the self-doubt or fear of failure. But go ahead, Coach Mike.
No, I was just going to say, man, I have zero problem admitting that we've cracked the code of how to be successful in real estate, period. At Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, we got the blueprint. I say it confidently. I say it with pride because it took many years and a lot of hard work for us to figure it out with. So I unapologetically say we absolutely know how to make you successful, period. We got the blueprint. We got the plan, right? And a part of what you're talking about, Rick, is the systems, is the processes. And when you have that level of confidence in what it is that you're doing, the self-doubt, there's just no place for it, right? And then even with the fear of failure, there's no place for the fear. One of the things that I coach is the way that you overcome fear is with faith, right? See, fear and faith, they're the same thing. The difference is fear is you're expecting something negative to happen. Faith is you're expecting something positive to happen. But at the end of the day, both of them they're not real. They're not a real thing. There's nothing tangible. Fear is not tangible. Faith is not tangible. It's all perceived. It's all speculation. It's just where do you have it pointed? So you want to overcome fear, then exercise your faith, right? Begin to hope for things that are positive, a positive outcome. Believe that the positive is going to show up and not the negative, which is what fear hangs its hat on.
Coach Mike, a lot of this question just talks about how people should not be shy or bashful to reach out as far as asking for quality mentorship. And at the same time, being able to reach out to someone like you to learn these proven processes. So just For the audience, let them know, you're an open book from that standpoint. At Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, we're open to people who are licensed, unlicensed, affiliates, those that are licensed different brokers, because we're here to exchange like-minded ideas, keep everyone motivated, and most importantly, close the wealth gap in America and provide those who are interested with all the tools they need to create generational wealth, man. So keep doing everything you're doing, Coach Mike. You're doing an outstanding job, sir.
I appreciate that, Rick, and I'm glad you brought those things up. It really speaks to our mission at Brooks and Davis. Like, our mission it's twofold. We want to help successfully satisfy 1 million real estate needs, as well as create 175,000 top producing agents. Right. So that's our mission. That's what we're shooting for. Right. And everything that we do is built on those things. I mentioned our real estate summit, where our goal this year is we want to bring in over 300 people to participate in our real estate summit. It's going to go out to buyers, sellers, investors, and vendors, right? It talks about the 175,000 top producing agents. Well, we have our World Changers community for licensed agents that are not a part of Brooks and Davis. They're connected with other broker. They want to stay at their broker, but they want to tap into what we're doing. They want to be connected. And we want to pour into those individuals as well. Same thing with our real estate student affiliate membership for those individuals that are at ACC or they're St. Jack or Champions. They're in school, right? But they want to not only get support as they're going through the process of passing the exam, because it's a difficult exam. They want to get that. They want to get the techniques and the support and the resources, but they also want to get a look at what to expect when it comes to being a part of a brokerage firm, right? Absolutely. We've done these things, Rick, because of our commitment to what you mentioned earlier, decreasing that wealth gap. And again, it's going to require more people that look like us, that are skilled professionals, to help encourage and influence and persuade and give people confidence that they too can buy a home, to where we can help begin closing that wealth gap, beginning with home ownership. That's the path that we're on, Rick. And we're looking for people that are wanting to get on this path. And that's why that self-doubt and that fear, those are things that we have to tackle and we have to get rid of, because there's just no space for the impact that we're looking to have as a brokerage firm.
And huge shout out to the member of our audience that submitted that question, because it shows a lot of self-awareness. And a lot of courage to admit that we have shortcomings that we need to work on. So big, huge shout out to everyone in the audience that have had those similar thoughts. And please do not hesitate to reach out to Coach Mike or myself on Instagram if you have further questions.
Absolutely.
Coach Mike, it's really cool having this show, because the questions that we always have an opportunity to talk about are always so relevant and right now. So yeah. I'm really excited to hear your response for our second question from the audience. So Coach Mike, if you're ready, I'd like to present to you question number 2.
Let's do it, man. I'm ready. Let's go.
Coach Mike, how often should I meet with my team to review progress? This is a question submitted by a member of the leadership team, Coach Mike.
Okay.
So what are some of your best practices as far as keeping the members of your team up, enthusiastic, and motivated?
Man, that's a great question, Rick. And my thought is they need to see you every day. Period. They need to start their day out with you. Right? You need to bring the thunder for your team. Now, here's the thing, though, Rick. Don't make them dependent on you. I see team leads make the mistake to where their team is dependent on them, meaning that the team can't do anything. The team can't function unless the team lead is there. And matter of fact, I was in that situation with my team where they felt like they could not do anything. They couldn't make a move without me. And they relied on me for everything. And guess what, Rick? That's a toxic situation for both parties. It's toxic for you because at some point, you're not going to be able to handle it. It's too much, right? You're one person, so you're going to get limited by your capacity. We all have a capacity, right? And I got to the point, Rick, where I was so burned out, I was miserable, right? It was completely different than what I am now. I'm super excited to be in the role that I'm in as the CEO of Brooks & Davis, the broker, team lead, and all these leadership roles. But there was a moment where I was miserable showing up and then what I did, Rick, was that at one point I laid it out, right? And I started looking at different pillars of the organization. And then I started looking at who was in charge of those pillars.
All right.
Well, actually, Rick, I started looking at who was involved with those pillars. So I started putting leadership names next to pillars. But then I asked myself, who's really owning that pillar? Like, who's really the head, the leader of it? And unfortunately, Rick, it ended with I was at the top of all of them. And I said, man, something got to give. So at that moment, Rick, I decided that, yeah, I need to show up. They need to touch me every day, but I need to begin to develop them to take ownership in their role. And I can confidently say, yes, I meet with my team every day, but there have been more times than often, especially this year with all of the requirements that I have and these different leadership boards with the Houston Association of Realtors and the Houston Black Real Estate Association and things like that. My team, they'll go do the meeting without me. There have been many times where the team has done, we call it a huddle. They've done the daily huddle without me even participating. And that's just the Brooks & Davis signature team. So that's just my agents and my staff and things like that. But even when I talk about my leadership team, who I meet with once a week, they've done it's called the weekly CEO meeting. But if the CEO is not available for that week, they'll meet. There have been times, Rick, where I was going to cancel it because I wasn't going to be available. And the team stood up and they was like, nah, you don't need to cancel it. We got it. We know how it flow. So those are some of the things that I'm most proud of is developing my team and developing my leadership to a point to where they can be sufficient. They can sufficiently get things done without me being there. I'm very proud of that because that's not something that just happened naturally, Rick. That was something that I had to be very strategic and intentional about getting my team to a point to where they could operate and execute at a high level without me being there. So to this question, you do want to get to the point to where you meet with them every day. So I do feel like I know I can give my team a surge of excitement, right? And vision, right? So they need vision. They need guidance. They want that. They need growth. They need development. Like they need that. And that comes from you. And they need a healthy diet of that from you, right? So it helps them stay on track and it helps them evolve. And you got to do it every day. So touching it every day is very important. Even with me meeting with my team every day, it's not the same kind of meeting every day. Like there are certain things that we do every day. Like the team has values. So we talk about the values. We have a clear mission. We have a clear vision. So the team, we recite that, right? It's an opportunity for me to connect with them, Rick, and just see how their morning is going, right? Because you'll be, well, you probably know this, man. There's so many people out there, man, and nobody's asking them how they're doing. They probably don't get a smile. Like we talk about mental health. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many people out there that don't think nobody care about them, right? So that's important with my team. Like I don't want my team to feel that way, right? So that's an opportunity for us to do that as we start the day off, right? It's also an opportunity for us to talk about what are we working on? What are the projects that we're working on? It's an opportunity if we got some leads that came over today, we can talk about those leads specifically. And here's another very powerful component of meeting with them every day. It allows them to tell me what their plan is for the day. I call it the core four. What's your core four for today? For my team, although I call it the core four, the 4 stands for amount of hours, like it's 4 hours, but it's really only 3 things: prospecting, top 50, which is your relationships, and your follow-up. All right. So I ask them, when are you going to do it?
Right.
And I make them tell me, because yeah, I'm gonna do an hour of this. No. When are you specifically going to do it? Okay, I'm gonna do this from 11 to 12. I'm gonna do ABC follow-up. All right. And it ain't really for me, Rick. It's for them. For them to say it out loud. And at that point, they're approaching life and they're approaching their day with intention. So those are some of the things we do every day. And then once a week, I do like a snapshot of, all right, how many leads do you have? How many appointments with buyers and sellers did you have scheduled? How many did you attend? How many offers do you have out? How many Let's say, how many people did we bring in and put under our Home Ready Success Path program? How many people did we connect with Community Covenant Capital? So I'm able to have those conversations with them, but we do that on a weekly basis to track those metrics. That's how I lay out engaging my team on a regular basis.
You know, it's outstanding, Coach Mike. While you were talking about the core four, it just lit a bell in me as someone that I had met this weekend in passing that I wanted to make sure I followed up with. So I was doing that when you mentioned it, because it are those things on a daily basis. You'll be surprised at how many opportunities you have for referral and repeat business.
Yeah.
And that just off the follow-up portion. I know that's one of the things that you have as a foundational piece of your mentorship, is talking about the importance of follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the cool thing about the people who checking us out tonight, a lot of what you just went over is some of the basic things that you go over in with your huddle with the team. Talk about what's going on. And for those consistent viewers of the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show, when we talk about this week's activities that are scheduled at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, it's like getting a small snapshot into CEO Coach Mike's daily huddle. So if you don't mind, Coach Mike, could you please inform our audience about what's going on this week over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm?
Yeah, no, I absolutely love to, Rick. Thanks for letting me do that, and always letting me do it every week. So it's that time again, Rick. Our monthly pre-home buyer session. We have that coming up this Saturday, beginning at 11 a.m. You know, what I like to say, Rick, man, if I told you the only thing standing between you and owning a home is information, we talked about that earlier, right? It's not you or anything particular. It's just there's information out there that you don't know, right? So for all those people that don't own a home, you want to buy a home, it's not you. It's just information. So I want to personally invite you to this month's pre-home buyer session. You know, be a part of our movement to satisfy 1 million real estate needs. That was something else that I mentioned earlier. This a free 45-minute session was designed for people just like you, renters, hopeful buyers, and those who've been told no. Now's the time for them to hear yes. You're going to discover what you can truly afford. You're going to understand how credit and debt impact your options. You're going to walk away with a clear next step toward ownership. Even if your credit isn't perfect, you still have options, and we'll show you what they are. Last month's pre-home buyer session, Rick, we had close to 20 people register. So this thing is taking off, man. So go ahead and put yourself in that number. Ready to explore your future is this Saturday, August 16th at 11 a.m. Register at the link on the screen. It's real easy registration. It's limited to 20 seats. It is in person and it is on Zoom, and the Zoom capacity is capped. So you want to make sure that you register early enough to where you don't lose your seat. We're going to get that link on the screen, so it'll be real easy for our people to register for it. And again, this is something that we do every month, our pre-home buyer session. Very exciting time. And this is, again, just a piece of or proof of our commitment to helping satisfy 1 million real estate needs. So the link's on the screen. Make sure you do it. It doesn't cost anything. Let's go ahead and help you satisfy your real estate need. Help us shrink the wealth gap, beginning with home ownership. And this is just for you. So super excited about that. All right. BND TV is something that we do every week. You know, people have just experienced our Monday Night Live, where we go live at 7, answering real estate questions from the audience and providing advice for real estate professionals. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a Real to Life podcast. It's our weekly show. We do it every Tuesday, where we go live at 12:30. It's with myself, and I dive into the life passions of real estate professionals. I'm happy to have my guests tomorrow, members of AKB Realty. They're real estate professionals. Also, they're investors. And matter of fact, fellow podcasters. I believe our audience, Rick, was able to experience the knowledge of Mr. A.K. Babers during one of my Monday Night Lives. So tomorrow, you all are going to get the pleasure to hear his story, to learn more about A.K. And the great things that he's doing. Him and his wife Samantha are really doing out there in the marketplace. So that's tomorrow at 12:30. I invite you to come on board. And if you're a real estate professional and you want to get interviewed, man, it's real easy to do. scan the QR code that's on the screen. You'll fill out the guest questionnaire, and then we'll get you on the calendar. I think we may have a few slots left for the rest of the year. If not, we can get you on next year, man. And we love to do our Real to Life podcast, and we get a lot of fanfare from it. Also tomorrow, beginning at 2:30, we're going to be doing our Real Estate Happy Hour live. It's a B&D show where we go live on Facebook and YouTube along with all of our shows. The host and special guests, we discuss social media trending topics, current events, and real estate industry related topics, along with some real estate advice to consumers and realtors. It's real estate professionals talking about randomness. The best part of this show is that the audience has the opportunity to get on screen with us and share their insights. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about back to school season. You know, how does this affect your world? That's a great topic. I know for my kids, they're starting school tomorrow. I got one going into high school. So now I got 3 kids in 3 levels now. I got one in college. I got one in high school. Got one in middle school. So, you know, I hadn't seen that since I had one in high school, one in middle school, one in elementary. But that's pretty interesting. So we're going to be talking, and I got some of my other participants on the show are experiencing similar situations as far as their kids. You know, one of our co-hosts is experiencing this school thing for the first time, so she may need some therapy from the rest of the group. But it's going to be a very exciting time. So we look to see you tomorrow at 2:30. And then Rick, man, I'm going to yield my time for you to tell the lovely people why they need to participate in the Prime Real Estate Network.
Oh, no, absolutely. Thank you, Coach Mike. On Thursdays at noon Central Time, I host the Prime Real Estate Network Live with the other co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out the show, I urge you to do so, because on last week's episode, I had the pleasure of interviewing Miss Ashanti Lafayette. She is a top producing luxury real estate agent here in the city of Houston. So if you've ever thought about or want to learn more about the luxury residential real estate sector or how to get involved in multifamily real estate investment, take a look at last week's episode. You can search The Prime Real Estate Network on YouTube. Check out Miss Ashanti Lafayette sitting in with the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and myself. We have really great interviews, really great guests, and I want to invite everyone in our audience to check us out. Thanks, Coach Mike.
Absolutely. I co-sign that 100%. All right. And then, you know, for you all that have not done so, make sure you subscribe to the Houston Real Estate Channel, powered by Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, where we explore the vibrant neighborhoods in and around Houston, Texas. You get valuable insights on Houston's real estate market with our diverse range of videos, including in-depth market reports and essential tips for buyers and sellers. So make sure you subscribe today. Also, let's talk about our money back guarantee. So real estate agents, if you're ready to take your career to new heights with a brokerage that puts you first, well, here at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, we offer something that no one else does. It's a powerful money back guarantee. We believe in our support so much that if you don't close a transaction within 90 days, we'll refund every dollar you paid to us. And if a year goes by and you still haven't closed, we'll even refund your payments to HAR, MLS, and Super. Your success is our priority. So at Brooks & Davis, you're not just joining a brokerage, you're becoming part of a community that's dedicated to your growth. Also, talking about our World Changers community, whether you're a licensed agent or you're a licensed agent ready to elevate your career, where our World Changers community is all about connection and collaboration. You do not have to, it's for those individuals that are not licensed, that are not members of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, but they are licensed. You want to stay with your broker, but you want to tap into the great work that we're doing. Like maybe you have a heart for helping satisfy 1 million real estate needs. Well, we provide the resources, the supplies, and the support to help you do that. So join our Real Change community where you're able to unlock the full potential of your real estate career. It's a free membership. We're a supportive family where you can grow, innovate, and be recognized. Embrace diversity as we reshape real estate with impactful solutions for all. You'll be able to make difference by engaging in local initiatives, elevate your education beyond transactions, and prepare for success, and all these things. So definitely encourage you to participate in the World Change community. Now, if you haven't got your license yet, I think I mentioned it earlier. It's our real estate student affiliate program, where by joining our real estate affiliate program, it helps tap you into, again, this supportive network of real estate professionals. You get resources, you get relationships. You also get tips, test taking tips, resources. You get plugged into. You get plugged into our weekly study hall that we do on Mondays. So it puts you in the best position to help ace the real estate exam. So again, it doesn't cost anything for the World Changers community and for the real estate student affiliate program. All you have to do is go to the link on the screen. It's real easy to sign up. It takes you less than 60 seconds. Input your information and boom, you're ready to go. Again, the best part is it doesn't cost anything. All you got to do is show up, register, become a member, and then you're completely plugged in and tied into what we're doing at Brooks and Davis. All right, finally, I want you all to follow us on social media. Stay in the loop by following us on LinkedIn for industry insights, Instagram for behind the scenes fun, Facebook for lively discussions, and YouTube for exclusive video content. Join the community, search Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm on each platform. Hit the follow or subscribe button. You do not want to miss out on the latest updates and exciting content. I absolutely look forward to seeing you there. And that's what I got, Rick.
Man, outstanding job, man. Thank you so much for sharing. I think people who are new to our show will be more than pleasantly surprised at not only the wealth of knowledge that you share, but how you've developed the entire team to be just a huge network of real estate professionals with education, experience, and mentorship qualities that the different shows that are produced on BND TV, I think if you check out everything, there'll be small tidbits you can take from each one of the shows. By this weekend, it'll make you a better real estate professional, better business owner, and better entrepreneur. So thank you so much. And I want to give a huge shout out to the team over at 2600 South Loop West, Suite 310 in Houston, Texas. Before we sign off this week, Coach Mike, because you've done a great job of sharing not only your experience, but also giving us some things to look forward to this week as far as education. Is there any final words of inspiration, something that you may have picked up over this past weekend or through some of your travels that you think could help motivate, inspire, and get all of us real estate professionals up and going this week?
No, absolutely, Rick. I mentioned the town hall meeting, and I mentioned how one of the things that I did was I had everybody do a recommitment to the major player pledge, a commitment to showing up, a commitment to doing the work. And what I would like to encourage our audience, Rick, is that you may need to recommit, right? I know for us, we were very intentional. Like I said, I made everybody stand up, put their right hand up, made them repeat after me, and they pledged. Then they also had to fill out a form, let us know a goal that they want to achieve before the end of the year, and put their name on it. Well, maybe you need to do something ceremonial like that to really put yourself in a position mentally, emotionally, to close the year out strong, to help you realize and hit marks that you may not have realized ever in your life, to strive for something greater. You may need to do that. So I really want to encourage people to put themselves in the best position to close the year out. We got about 4 months left, right? And then we're on to a new year. Finish it strong, man. Go hard. Leave everything on the field, man. So, and look back and you'll have created something that you can be proud of in 2025.
No, that's outstanding, man. Thank you so much, man. I ask everyone in the audience, if you don't follow Coach Mike on Instagram, feel free to do so at CEO Coach Mike. If you need to reach out to me, you can always reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, Coach Mike, it's an honor and a pleasure to host this show with you. Once again, huge shout out to our super producer, Jay Joseph, behind the scenes, bringing this show to you every Monday night when it's time for Monday Night Live. On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and CEO Coach Mike, Mr. Michael G. Davis, until next Monday, when it's time to go live on this real estate show, we ask everyone in our audience to please be safe and be blessed.